valor, camaraderie, and the courage to face all obstacles. They are the values we uphold, the values that define us, the values that make us who we are. The Warriors of Sunlight. Arguably the most iconic covenant, and with Solaire at its forefront, it's easy to see why it would garner such a reputation. But this raises a question. Who is Solaire? Why is he such a beloved character? And, most importantly, what happened to him after the events of Dark Souls? Let us uncover this truth together. Lordran, the ancient home of the lords, is actually an extremely unforgiving place. Seriously, people are mean to you, things want to kill you, and, to put it simply, you feel unwelcomed here. That said, as previously evidenced by Oscar himself, you have a mission to undertake.
There is an old saying in my family, "Thou who art undead art chosen, when thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Perhaps you can keep the torch lit.
Turning away is not an option, so whatever comes up, you must face it head on. Shortly after your first major battle, to be exact, against the Tortoise Demon, you will be rewarded with a moment of respite. After exploring the nearby ruins, you might see a lonely fellow staring off into the distance. He is none other than Solaire of Astora.
I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. Why not help one another on this lonely journey? We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. Could that really be mere chance? I hardly think so.
I mean, how can you not love this guy? Someone who doesn't want to murder you and, in fact, wants to do everything possible to help you out on your journey with no ulterior motives of his own? I mean, come on! The last time someone did that for us, they kind of ended up dead. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. If by some miracle you end up crossing the Dragon Bridge on the other side, you will have the chance to speak to him yet again. And, if you're eligible, you may also join his covenant. The Warriors of Sunlight.
Why not join me, as a warrior of the sun, righteous knights, guardians of all that is good, in the name of the Lord of Sunlight? Only if it would please you, of course. Oh, magnificent! Now you need only pray at the altar of sunlight in Anor Londo.
I think I understand what true friendship is like. After this little exchange between the two of you, you will not encounter him for a little while, besides the odd summon sign here and there. That is, until you reach the famed city of Anor Londo. Many consider this to be the peak of Dark Souls, and I can see why. You've got a fantastic and complex area with a hard but rewarding boss fight at the end. Coupled with Solaire and an amazing chest, I mean, who doesn't love this place? Unfortunately, this little adventure comes with a drawback for our good friend Solaire. Let's take a moment and talk about going hollow. Having a purpose, something to work towards and look forward to in your day-to-day life, is, unfortunately, not a luxury everyone can afford. Sometimes we don't have one to begin with. Other times, we end up losing it due to hardship and other struggles we might encounter along the way. Going hollow is essentially just that. Losing your purpose, your will, your strength to carry on. Despite how strong and optimistic he may have seemed on the surface, Solaire himself was struggling with that. First, we have to look at what his goal as an undead was. And, as we all know it, Only courage in the face of doubt can lead one to the answer. Yes, the Arcana is the means by which all is revealed.
The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
The sun, bathing us in rays of gold, ever so brilliantly, aims to represent everything we hold dear in life. Joy, happiness, success, and positivity. His quest as an undead was discovering a son of his own. Not realizing that for the chosen undead, he already fulfilled the role of the son. He kept searching and searching until it led him to the depths of Lost Izalith.
I did not find my own son, not in Anor Londo, nor in Twilight Blighttown. Where else might my son be? Lost Izalith? Or the tomb of the Grave Lord? But I cannot give up. I became undead to pursue this. But when I peer at the sun up above, it occurs to me, what if I am seen as a laughingstock? As a blind fool without reason? Well, I suppose they wouldn't be far off. Oh no, dear me, pretend you didn't hear that.
Venturing deep into these lands, one may find Solaire, clinging to the hope that he may have discovered what he was searching for.
Finally, I have found it. I have. Ah, my very own son. I am the sun.
And I am sorry, old friend.
The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. Could that really be mere chance? I hardly think so. Why not join me as a warrior of the sun? The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent. Why? Why? After all this searching, I still cannot find it. Was it all a lie? Have I done this all for nothing? Oh, my dear son. It's over. My son, it's setting. It's dark. So dark.
Putting his soul to rest is the most unfortunate way of ending his story. Thankfully, you can save him, although it will require quite a bit of work. It should be noted that he will remain saddened by the fact that he seemingly cannot complete the goal he set out to do. But, at the very least, he remains alive and stays by your side until the very end, even going as far as taking the fight to Lord Gwyn himself. It is believed that because you both take on Gwyn and defeat him, he too shall link the flame in his own world, thus earning the title of Lord of Cinder. You might be wondering which of these two endings is the lore accurate one. Back when Dark Souls originally came out, there was room for debate and arguments being brought up for both of these. But we are in 2024, and we have the Dark Souls trilogy. Thankfully, because of that, a lot of information is cleared up. Let's start by analyzing the good ending first. Enter the Soul of Cinder. Actually, don't do that. It's just like an expression, because we're gonna be talking about him and stuff. You know, never mind, let's just get into it. This dude is essentially the manifestation of everyone who has previously linked the flame. As the fight goes on, you will see him take the form of many different builds, all of which have been utilized by previous player characters. I mean, hey, they even got the Havelfoot going on. In all seriousness, the fight culminates with the Soul of Cinder, taking the form of Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight, as he unleashes a barrage of attacks, trying his damn hardest to stop you. Why am I bringing all of this up? Well, Oddly enough, despite all the different builds he can materialize into, not a single one ends up featuring a round shield with a straight sword. Something that would be reminiscent of our good friend, which leads me to believe that Solaire didn't actually end up linking the flame after all. I do not think that he's the kind of guy who would go on and become a Dark Lord, but I'm also pretty certain that if given the chance, he would actually link the fire, so why did he not do it? My only guess is that this is unfortunately not the canon ending to the story. We still have the other ending to analyze. You knew this was coming. Let's talk about the Carthus sandworm. As we have previously established, Solaire dies in Lost Izalith. The Dark Souls 3 equivalent of that area would be the Smoldering Lake. I don't want to complicate this too much, but the basic gist is that you will find a bunch of enemies originally from Dark Souls 1 here. You also have the Fair Lady and her sister, Quaylana, nearby. Anyway, as soon as you enter this area, you will be greeted by this massive worm who then starts shooting lightning beams towards you. Upon dying, he rewards you with an undead bone shard and an incantation. Why is all of this relevant? There's a popular theory which suggests that Solaire has become this sandworm. After all, the worm is in the area he ended up dying in. Solaire himself is an undead, and he is also known for using lightning incantations. Which means it is settled then. Solaire died, somehow he became a sandworm, and you kill him again. Unfortunately, this theory can be disproven thanks to the existence of the yellow bug pellet. That said, I do think it is entirely possible that the sandworm ended up devouring Solaire. But all of this begs the question, what actually happened to him? I think he became the crow at Firelink Shrine. How else do you explain the fact that it has access to his equipment? In all seriousness, regardless of what Solaire's fate might have been, nobody can deny that he is a man who stood with us until the bitter end. He is the one who inspired many of the chosen undead to keep pursuing the journey ahead of them. He is the one who many will remember. And, in the words of Sigurd of Katarina,
"Let the sun shine upon this Lord of Cinder."